and only if, and that will indicate that it's a biconditional, meaning it goes both ways. Okay, another thing you're going to see written, because some people like to say mathematicians are lazy, I like to say that mathematicians are efficient. We don't like to waste our time writing words. Is you're going to see this word if, but it has two F's. Now that's not a word, if. It just stands for, it's the abbreviation for if and only if. Okay? So these really mean the same thing. We say it the same way, but when we write it, we might write this because we want to not spend our whole time writing. Okay, and the last way you'll see this is using some arrows. Back and forth arrows. Ways.
So that's different from what we just looked at in our warm-up. Remember, that statement went if to then, and the arrow only went one way. You had to start with your hypothesis, go to your conclusion. This way, it can go back and forth.
All right, here we go. Starting with our first example. We have 3 examples today. All right. For our first example, we're going to say an angle is right and then we're going to write in the whole phrase, only if it has a measure of 90 degrees. So because we want it to work both ways, we're going to check to make sure that both ways works before we decide if this is true or false. And that's really our goal today, is decide if these biconditionals are true or false. So if I start with a right angle, if somebody tells you, oh yeah, it's a right angle, can you assume that because they said it's a right angle, that means it's 90 degrees? Yep, that's true. Okay, now we're going to flip it. We're going to start with the other way. If I start with 90 degrees, and you see a 90-degree angle, can you assume that that's the same thing as a right angle? Yep. So because both are true, and it's an and statement, will this and statement be true or false? True. All right. We only have 2 more examples today. Sorry, I kind of wrote that one fast. Number 2. You will get an A on the test and we're going to use the if. But really we would say it if and if, but we're going to write it as IFF. That way we just don't have to write it all out, because we are efficient, relatively lazy mathematicians. You get a 94%. And then there should be a period there, I guess. Kind of looks goofy with that person. Alright, so let's think. You're taking a test. You get a 94% on the test. Does that 94% tell you you got an A? Yeah, a 94% is an A. So that's true. Now we have to double check it the other way. If I tell you you got an A on the test, does that mean you got a 94%? Why? Yeah, you could have gotten a 95 or a 96, I think, right? So that's false. So this is an and statement. No, it might have timed out. Okay, so if I go back to 2-2 in our logic statements, when we had a conjunction, an and, in order for it to be true, it'd be true. If one or more is false, our answer is false. So in this problem, is this going to end up being true or false? It's an and statement, so they both have to be true, otherwise it's false. And we do want a counterexample. So since we had the false down here for this one, we want to show that counterexample for that one. What was a counterexample? If you got an A, why could it not necessarily mean you got a 94%? An A could be 95%. All right, one last example for today. Number 3. Whoa, that was a weird curve. Because I have that foldable glue down on the back, so it's kind of weird. All right, number 3. It is a school day. We're going to use the arrows this time. So that two-way arrow, it's going both directions. It is a school day, and you're at Apollo. So it is a school day if and only if you're at Apollo. So we're going to check it both ways. So this time let's start here and move to the right. So I'm going to think, if it's a school day, does that tell me that I'm at Apollo? Is that true or false? Give me a counterexample. When would there be a school day and you're not at Apollo? You're at home. It's an online day. What? Maybe you're at a different school, right? Just because, I'm trying to think of an old student that I had. Can't think. My brain is dead. Just because Emmy Quill isn't here today, does that mean we don't have school day? No. Emmy Quill is a diver who goes to St. Ben's. She wouldn't come to Apollo. That'd be silly. But we still have a school day without her. Okay? Just because you're sick, does that mean we call off school for the day? No. Right? We still have school even when you're sick. So this is false. Do we even need to check the other direction? To decide if it's true or false, do we need to check it?
Why not?
Good. When it's an and statement, we know that our answer is going to end up being false. Well, let's just check it anyways, just to think through it. Because if you weren't sure if this is true or false, you can always check the other one just to kind of help you. So if you're at Apollo, does that mean it's a school day? Has anyone come to Apollo on a day that's not school day? Yeah. What did you come to Apollo for? Sports. What'd you say? Orientation. We were here. Okay. If you're in Math League happens on Saturdays. Math League, you should join Math League. It happens on Saturdays. Sometimes there are competitions. Or sometimes you get to skip school for a Math League competition. Who doesn't want to skip school to take a math test? Exactly. So, false. This is false. Sorry. So they're both false, which means our full answer will be false. And we just need one counterexample, so you can pick either one. You can put false, it's a school day, I'm home sick. You can put false, I'm at school on a Saturday for a football game. Okay? Either one, we just need some counterexample, either one of these. So I'm going to say false. I took a field trip for math league. And a field trip for math league means you went to a different school, like you went to Alexandria, and in Alexandria, you took a math test. But what's really fun about that is you can put math league on your college applications, those of you going to college that want to go to college. It's a good way to get some scholarships, math league. Join math league here at Apollo. If you want more information, I have a handy-dandy poster back there, or you can talk to me. Math league, it's happening. It starts soon. You should join it. There is math league. And you don't necessarily have to be good at math. You just go and you take math tests. And whether or not you do good on a math test, you get to participate in math league. And then you get to put it on your college application. And then people will be like, oh my gosh, they're in math league. They're so smart. We want them at our college. And secretly, the college doesn't need to know that you didn't do very good at math league.
Do we have a